Hey ladies, good evening. You're on the eve of a huge day tomorrow. Zoe, Stephanie, Dan, I just wish I could be there with you guys, but actually at this moment I'm halfway around the world in Nairobi, Kenya. But here's one of the things I want to talk to you about tonight. It's the exact same thing that we talked about before you stepped on the mat at state and you brought it home. It was how we get in that mindset. How do we get in that championship mindset so when we take the mat, we are at our optimum performance level, that we are ready to go. If you'll remember, there's 5 things. We may be feeling a lot of things, but we can forget our feelings and focus on these 5 things to be our best. All right? Okay, so speaking of focus, that's number 1. What are we focused on? Are we focused on being our best? Are we focused on loving our teammates? Are we focused on just all-out effort? Are those the things? Are we focused on really executing our stunt? Really being a good base, cheering loud? Are those the things we focused on? Or are we focused on the judges? And oh my goodness, that other team. And oh the fans. Hey, I know Mr. Parker's going to be there. I'm so glad, but hey, you can't focus on him. All right? You can't focus on the white jacket. You don't have it yet. Don't focus on it. Focus on giving your best, all-out effort. Focus on the right things. Focus on the process, not the result. All right, that's focus. Number 2, body language. I remember the day that we spoke about this when we were in the gym back at Bob Jones. It's all about our body language. What does that look like? Are we light? Are we airy? Are we jumping around? Are we high-fiving each other? Are we bumping knuckles? What's our body language? What do we look like? We up? Is our head up? What is it? What is it? That's what it's got to be. To be optimally confident, you got to have that body language. If we see a lot of this, that's not good body language. All right? We can't have slumped shoulders. We can't be stiff and walking around. We got to be loose. We got to be airy. Your body language not only tells you what you're feeling like, it tells your opponent, it tells everybody around you, it tells your teammates. So it's everybody's responsibility to have great body language. If you see somebody slumped over or doesn't have that body language, hey, go over and lift them up. Go over and lift them up because it's a team. It's going to take every one of you guys to bring home that national championship. If one of you doesn't have this, it's going to be a huge obstacle to bringing those white jackets home. So body language is important. My leaders, I want to see you guys high-fiving, getting after it. Okay? All right, so that's 2. Third thing, as I look at my notes, how we talk to you. Pay attention to how you talk to you. So if you're airy and you're light and you're ready to rock and roll, you're going to be saying, I can do this. We've got this. We've been preparing all year for this moment. It's on, baby. And I remember another thing that we said after y'all got all together and you had won that state championship. The mentality was, let's eat. Let's eat. That's what I want you guys saying. That's what I want you saying to yourself. I want you smiling, and I want you to go on that mat, looking at each other in the eye and saying, let's eat. It's time. It's time to eat. I don't want you saying, I don't know if we can do this, or, oh, my leg hurts, or, oh, I hope this person does their stunt right. We're not saying that. That's just eject those thoughts. I want you guys thinking, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take those white jackets back to Madison, Alabama. That's what you're saying while you're focused totally on the process. All right. So that's 3. That's 3. Fourth thing. This was a different concept. Sounds weird, I know, right when we say it, but are we operating out of love or out of fear? That's what you got to ask yourself. You got to ask yourself, are you operating out of love or are you operating out of fear? If you're operating out of love, you're operating out of happiness. You're operating out of excitement, joyful anticipation. Those are all emotions that you are acting out of that are out of love. I want to encourage you. Contentment, peace, or some other ones. When you may close your eyes and say, we got this. You're operating out of love. Now, if you start being angry, or you start getting upset, or you start getting nervous, or you start getting anxious, that's fear. You're operating out of fear. And operating out of fear is not going to get us where we need to go. Y'all have heard me say it before. We don't become who we want to be. We become who we train to be. We become who we tell ourselves we are. We become how we're operating. Are we operating out of fear? Are we operating out of love? Okay? So, number 4, operate out of love. Happiness, excitement, joyful anticipation, contentment, peace. That's how we want to operate. That's how we want to operate. All right, so that's 4. Number 5. You remember those pictures that I showed you the day we talked about this in the gym? I remember those, one of the girls' face is talking about facial expression. Your face tells a lot. So we got to have good facial expressions. We can't have this. Or, we don't need that. I don't need this. That's no good. That's no good. We got to have great facial expression. What is this right here? It's a smile. That is one of the best things you can put on your face to be confident. When you catch yourself or you catch a teammate, maybe with a little look like this, push it up. Push it up. Your facial expression tells your teammates and tells your opponents, tells your coaches, and most importantly, it tells you how you're going to perform. So we got to have great facial expressions. We got to have our eyes bright. We got to have our smiles bright. We got to have our head up. I do this sometimes when I'm ready. When I start biting my bottom lip, baby, that says it is on and I am ready to go. So I'll let you do that. But those eyes, you got to have the eye of the tiger. You got to be focused. You got to have great body language. You got to be talking to yourself in the most beneficial way you can. What's my other one? Love or fear. You got to be operating out of love. Okay? What are we focused on? We're focused on executing the process of winning. We're not focused on winning. We're focused on executing that process. All right. Those are the 5 things that if you will do it, I cannot wait to see you on February the 9th, the day that I get back. And I'm going to try on that jacket. I know it might be tight and look stupid. I don't care. I want to put it on because I feel like I was a part of that success. Y'all go get them. I love you.